If you're building a forum, message board, social network, online store, or any other type of website that needs security, I'll explain what SSL is, its history, maybe piss some people off, and I'll even send you over to a link that gives you 90-day free trial, not 30, but 90-day free trial on a instant SSL certificate. Stay tuned. Today on your Technology Questions Answered, for those making websites right now that need absolute security, I'm going to explain to you what is SSL, what it means, what it does, what it means for you, what it means for your clients, what kinds of websites need to use it, what kinds don't actually have to use it, and what it protects you from, and then finally give you the address to a free 90-day certificate source that will allow you to test your website so that you can actually put it out securely. So what is SSL mean? It is an acronym, which we all know what acronym means, for Secure Sockets Layer. Now, a Secure Sockets Layer is nothing more than a tunnel going from your computer all the way to a server. You can actually figure this out in your browser by looking up the address bar and seeing the address convert from HTTP to HTTPS. Now, most modern browsers give you other indicators like a padlock symbol in gold, sometimes a green address bar, which actually does cost more, but not necessarily more secure, people. Keep that in your mind. And it does this by using asymmetric encryption. That you can actually go and get the definition for in Wikipedia or by listening to Security Now from the twit.tv network. Now, we are currently running on the internet a form of SSL known as TLS 1.2, also known as SSL 3.3, which has been out since August 2008. So it's 3 years old, this version. Want to know how old it is? Remember last week, if you were listening, when I said United States military, basically government, did not allow for websites and the internet to deploy encryption until X amount of time? Well, the first time you actually saw a legitimate version of encryption allowed on the internet, it was Netscape in 1995, in the month of February, that put out the first version of SSL that allowed you to tunnel securely to a server from your computer. That was version 2.0 of SSL. Version 1.0 never even made it to the public view. So that's how old it is. Now, if you're trying to figure out what Netscape is because you're a little young, I'll give you a hint. Mozilla Firefox. When Netscape finally died, yay, Firefox took its place. A better, cleaner browser with more options and faster loading and a lot less buggy than Netscape was, and for once did not use the CSS layers tag. Yay! Now, what kinds of websites should use SSL and have been using SSL since it was actually legitimately deployed in February of 1995? Banks, online stores, any social network website worth its cents in gold, some forums and message boards, and online websites that contain personal information that nobody wants to get out, like cloud storage, some kinds of music buying places, basically anything that has personal information you don't want going out of their way to lose. Uses SSL. What does it need to use SSL? This should be easy for most people to figure out. Static web pages. Now, when I refer to static web page, I'm referring to a website that the webmaster, web developers, or content creators actually modify and not the user. So, not Amazon, But something like my website is static. That means you don't need SSL there. So for those making websites like a blog, you don't need to use SSL. But if you're opening up your own online store, that's when you need to use SSL. If you're a bank that needs to open a website and you want to selectively use SSL, anything that contains the user session needs to be encoded in SSL. The rest of your business information doesn't. That's basically how you figure out what kinds of website need to use SSL. Now, a few companies that offer SSL as a service are Komodo, Tot, GoDaddy, CA, VeriSign, Visa, AAA, etc., etc., etc. And what does it protect us from? The bad guys. People that want to steal your identity, credit card information, user information, password information, address, and all that other stuff that would be just juicy to get so that they can steal your identity and start ripping you off right now. That's what it protects us from. And for those designing a website that you want to prevent your clients from getting their information stolen, here's the address: www.instantssl.com/SSL-. If you're watching the video, by the way, it will be underneath. So that was SSL-certificate-products/free-SSL-certificate.com. If you're watching the video, the link will be on the bottom part of the screen right now. Next week, you know those applications you download that you use like iTunes and Photoshop and whatever? And then they crash and you don't know how to fix them and you don't want to bring them to Computer Store, but you want to fix them right now? Next week I'll show you or explain to you. Don't know yet, but you will figure out how. Next week, to fix your computer's applications errors without bringing your computer to the Computer Store, saving you time, money, and freak out time. So, until next week, this has been your Technology Questions Answered. If you like the show, subscribe to it. If you think other people can benefit from the show, forward this video to your friends, families, and foes. And to get lots more information, www.zedaxis.net. Stay safe and online. Have a great day.